some of the benefit for you is that perhaps some of these things relate to what you sense are going on for you, and maybe helps build some awareness and helps you to have a breakthrough in terms of what's possible for you.
Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman.
And welcome everybody to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. So glad to be with you again. Today I'm going to be talking to you more about energy scan secrets as it relates to the solar plexus chakra, or also known often as the power center. So yeah, I'm really enjoying again going through this series with you, sharing some of the things through thousands of energy scans that I've done of people's energy systems, some of the things I noticed. And some of the benefit for you is that perhaps some of these things relate to what you sense are going on for you, and maybe helps build some awareness and helps you to have a breakthrough in terms of what's possible for you. Also, if you're a current energy scanner or do such work yourself, perhaps this can be a guide and support to you and your own energy scanning journey, whether you've taken the training from me or you do your own sort of energy reading. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to sharing with you. So let's just dive right into it. So, yes, for the solar plexus, I always call it the power center for the purposes of the show because it is often considered the solar plexus chakra and labeled that way. I use both terms. Power center, I say, because that's how I see it. Some people say technically it's really the sacral chakra and the solar plexus is your power center and all these things. For me, I've always really looked at the solar plexus as being the so-called power center. And that's how I really look into it from that direction. So in that power center, when I'm tuning in, my gateway is primarily through feeling. So what I'll feel in there is usually is a bit of tightness. Sometimes it's really heavy, all the different bandwidths of tension that might be there. But then certain patterns will be there. One will be like a nonstop drive, maybe, or maybe there'll be like a stop, like I did one today. It was a stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, gas break in there. So the power center is like what's their energy moving, propelling them forward, and um, getting things accomplished, manifesting things, all those sort of things. So it's a matter of how it's wired up. And so what I'm looking at is the energy. Uh, how light is it? Is it heavy? Sometimes if it's a bit lighter, it's or not heavy at least. Maybe there's strong flow of energy coming through. So it might be just a nice power center where things are flowing well, but that's rare. Usually there's so many chords connected. We look at chording, particularly. I could look again, any of the chakras for that, but it's one of the common ones. I like to look at the chords and the chords going out to situations, people, things like that, and how that might be sapping their power. And so I'll pick up on those things, and then the idea is ultimately, of course, if I'm working with them, is to clear those things, is to clear the cording and to clear whatever the ideas and the beliefs are that they've accumulated through the lifetimes and this life that are sapping their sense of being able to stand in their strength and their power and the signal of manifesting, doing something in this world. Now, remember, it's a lower chakra, so it has to do more with a bit more to do with accomplishing something in this world versus, I would say, particularly like the top two chakras, like the crown and the third eye, are more spiritual in a sense. But then again, they're all very practical. They all relate to how we relate to the world. But power center has to do with that energy we're bringing into the world closer to the earth. So also often I'm looking at too, like from the sense of their light being, like how deep that's going in. If they're more evolved, the light is coming in. Maybe it's going in through their head, through the crown, and then down. And then somebody's really been evolved and embodied in the light. It'll go down all the way into the power center, which is really spectacular and beautiful when I see that. So I'm always so grateful to see such things. So the energy would be light in that case. They're really embodied in the full power. That energy is flowing through their entire energy column. And yes, I do tend to find like there's for healer types, they're more lighter in the upper chakras, more typically at least, if they've been in the healing focus most of their life. If they've been like, oh, I've been a corporate warrior and now I'm going, to healing, spiritual work, it may be a little bit reversed, but usually people are having more issues with their lower chakras. In either case, really, by the time I talk to them, because then if they're a corporate like warrior, then maybe it was filled with a lot of willpower. So the sense of divine will or just will is in there to just push and make things happen. So I'll notice that there. And getting a sense of like how powerful that is. Is it something that just absolutely kind of moves everything forward, or is it something that's like an overpowering kind of vibration? How does that hook up? We also look at the past life. So if there's a really strong energy in there, sometimes there's warrior past lifetimes too, in terms of being in wars and things. And so I'll sense that maybe their power left their body connection there because they were killed in a battle and uh, as a knight or whatever, whatever may be the case. And so I'll notice that maybe I'll see where the wound went in. Sometimes they'll have, physical symptoms even in this lifetime around that. Yeah, I have a lower back issue and I could see where the wound was happened. That isn't super often that I notice those type of things in an initial read, but sometimes I'll find those things. Um, so yeah, so there's also, protecting your power, like, because if you're not standing your own power, then other people are trying to grab your power and guide and direct, where you're putting your energy into. So that's where that courting comes in. But then a counter response sometimes to the courting is uh, really is to shut down the power center. And maybe they're very depressed. Maybe they're keeping everybody away. So they still may be very courted in one level, but they're trying to make sure they're not, pulled by other energies, and it gets very, I want to say heavy, in that power center in that way. So maybe the energy isn't being consciously influenced or, deeply influenced all the time in terms of like how they're behaving, what they're doing, because they're just depressed and shut down, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, but um, when there's more energy and it's flowing more, there's more, and the courting thing hasn't been cleared because they're not trusting their own infinite power, and then they can be more easily courted. Again, this is unconscious. Like people say, "I'm going to throw a cord on your power center," like it, or I want to be courted. Put a cord in there. It's just like these are the things that just get established. So people are in your field, you need to clear those energies out, and this is where cutting cords regularly is really important for your power center, releasing everybody else's energies that you might be absorbing in all your chakras, but I'm bringing it up particularly today in the power center is helpful, and then really standing and feeling your all power in your power center is a great practice. So yeah, so I'll be doing a reel on Instagram soon about that too, I'm sure. I've got as far as the heart chakra, I believe. Yeah, the heart chakra is the last one reel I did. So yeah, it depends on when this comes out. Like everything's got its own timing, but based on when the podcast is released. Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free meditate, make money meditation today. So yeah, so some of the other things I might want to say about the power center is, yeah, I'm looking for an evolution. If someone's in a very powerless sort of mode, yeah, the energy will be just again bogged down, shut down, really heavy. If they're more empowered, The energy will be more bubbly, maybe. I don't know if that's the right word, but there's some activation of energy moving in there. But again, they may be very influenced by others and plugging in other people's structures and systems, which may be healthy, may be unhealthy, often unhealthy. Then, may evolve to recognize and I get to choose. That divine will really gets stronger. Maybe there's even a sense of really fiery energy, really go-getter energy that gets activated in that power center. And that's certainly going to probably, unless it's the heat gets really high in there, like it's too high in a sense, in a wonky way, probably be much more positive life, more productive life, a so-called successful life, because you're manifesting a lot of great things, bigger, stronger, wonderful things. But then ultimately, usually what happens is that willpower, that fire, um, becomes, almost intoxicating, it's like a drug. We got to do more because I got to achieve more. And then it burns out. And then when it burns out, then there's a sort of maybe can create a confusion in the power center or depletion in the power center temporarily, where there's not a sense of orientation of how to move in this world, surrender, will, I don't know which way to go, I want to surrender now because it's all too much. But then again, I don't know if I trust that. I know to go to fire, and then it goes to like, no, I just can't do the fire anymore. I can't do fire power, through my power center anymore. So then it just shuts down, and then there's more, maybe a trickle of, more water, air energy if I was looking for elemental energies. And then that means they're getting into their spiritual practices a bit more. They're tipping into a shift in that power center is the next evolution. So if the evolution continues, it will flip into more of a full on lightness or flow of energy. And the frequencies of, fire, steel, other elementals can flow from there once we really establish some of the lighter energies. And that's usually the path of progression for so many. Um, and to get that enlightened steel, that enlightened fire, mixed into the power center is beautiful. So those are some of the things that I may notice as part of tuning in and reading people's power centers, solar plexus. So yeah, I think there's just like I say in every single podcast on the chakras, there's so many different things that can, show up potentially in each scenario with the energy scan. So if you want to, learn more, I do offer energy scan training where we talk about things that help you activate your gifts and abilities to be able to do such things. And in fact, I even give some of these secrets away on how to do that part through my energy scan secrets call. So we'll put a link into the show notes so you can go ahead and come to the next call. They're always awesome. They're always fun. When I have a live audience, there's a bit more. You've probably seen on my interviews, but more fun, even lighter energy, even funner energy, and entertaining. I want to say even some people find it entertaining the way the energy comes through me when we're in a group. So check that out. Energy Scan Secrets call coming up. I'll do some energy scans on the call as a demo for you. You might be chosen, if you show up early enough and you've never gotten an energy scan from me before, for sure. You are much more likely to get that energy scan from me on the Energy Scan Secrets call, where I also reveal to you more information around the energy scan training, and we will evaluate to see if it's a great fit for you. If you're a healer that's wanting to, claim these gifts or intuitive psychic gifts to tune into people's energies and then to gain new clients and build your business, that's a perfect fit for the vast majority of you that are doing energy healing. And, I have other people that think they're just coaches at first. They come in and they'll go, okay, I guess I'm also an energy healer and maybe even a channel, and things like that start occurring to them as well. So anyway, so you can check that out. If you want to check out the energy scan training directly, we'll have a link in the show notes for that as well. Just to give you a little bit more of a taste of some of the things I might be tuning into the power center for, and really all the chakras is sometimes if you're in business, right, I'm going to look at things like money and see how you are with money in your power center. You might power center like every other chakra. They might be strong with one thing and not strong with another. So I have to run it through the prism of the energy of money and see if it goes weaker, if it goes stronger. And then I read the energy to see what that's telling me. If it goes weaker, why is it going weaker, right? And seeing what that is all about. And just, but me just naming the pattern and just talking about it with people is usually really helpful. So yeah, with the power center, maybe again, maybe if you were really rich in another lifetime and whatnot, there's an empowerment around that money, but maybe all your wealth was stolen away and now you feel powerless around money because no matter how much you make, it's all gets taken away eventually. Or that might have even happened in this life, right? Like any other thing from that could be from past life, could be this life. So I look at those patterns and see what's going on. But yeah, that's one of the things with wealth and money in the power center is when people have been, rich or wealthy or fluent, and then suddenly were raided by an army, or somehow it was taken away, or maybe it was just overwhelming to be wealthy, powerful, in their full power, being queens or kings or whatever, or those, something like that. And it just got to be where it's just too much. I'd rather have a quieter life. I don't want to be so high profile. So the power center, shifts in that regard. So then maybe it's more like, let's keep things smaller. Let me keep my energy smaller so that, that doesn't happen. I don't want to go through those type of scenarios. Or if, again, you use your power for ill, to get advantage or manipulate people or whatnot from, in part from your power center, but then you saw the negative consequences for you or for other and or others. Again, maybe the power center starts to shut down. So we carry these things. Yes, often are patterns from past lives. Now, some people will say they'll clear any of these patterns in just one clearing. They can clear up almost anything in one session, right? They have your people out there to say that. And what I say to that is, yes, absolutely, it's totally doable and possible. And I'll also say this is that typically every clearing only clears it to one level, no matter how dramatic the level. Like, wow, my power center is like flowing with amazing energy, and I'm feel man, everything's just flowing for me and manifesting, and it's so perfect after one clearing. Yeah, but what happens is like where because people come to me and think like I cleared this before, but then they go to a next level of something, right? Go to evolve to another level of visibility, let's say, or you need to stand in your power even more. And now the old pattern is still lingering. It's still in the vibration. It's not that it's been completely removed. It's just that you cleared it to a level. So most energies are only cleared to a level. It's not like we've completely removed it. It'll never be there again. Although that does happen sometimes. There are certain entities on people or things like that. We remove it and it's unlikely to return, So, or maybe a specific one block does get cleared and it's permanently shifted where it'll never show up anywhere near the same again. But sometimes it does. It shows back almost exactly the same type of way, but only, when you go to a next level of like, I'm afraid now, I've cleared that belief or that energy in my system to a degree, but it's still in the system. It's not like I got rid of it entirely. And then that nasty feeling or that constriction or that heaviness or that sense of I can't break through shows up again. So that's where continuing to, work with your energy as you continue to have new challenges and new things show up in your life, no matter how much clearing you've done, is really important. Your energy could be flowing and totally open, and you could have the best life ever. And then suddenly your entire system could be in darkness. I've seen it happen. Not for my clients necessarily, but like I have seen it happen for people where I've seen spiritual teachers get caught up in the darkness and even commit suicide. I mean, I've seen it happen. So I also share this. I'm guided to share this because I believe there is somebody listening today, perhaps, that feels like they were at a higher vibration at some point, and they felt like their chakra energy was great, and but why is it I'm so heavy now or super heavy? Often, when I take a look at it, again goes back to something that hasn't been addressed fully from past lives and came up as you were kept raising up. So, yeah, you could be a powerful healer, light worker, leader, great energy, everything's expanded, and massively and dramatically crash, virtually overnight. That can happen. These energies, dark energies, can come into us too that can start influencing us and taking us down. That's why I continually to be very mindful of your energy and what's coming into your energy field, what you're allowing to come into your energy field, when you're consciously, monitoring it and working through it is really important. So anyway, this kind of goes beyond just the energy scanning itself, but I wanted to share those pieces with you, guided to say those things to you today. Okay, so the bottom line is we have to trust our power. We have to realize that, by trusting your power, being more assertive, in your relationships, more, I suffered with sales, for example, with business. And in the beginning, when I started doing sales online, because I just really felt like I didn't want people to think I was after the money, right? In part. And probably I worried if the work would work out well enough or whatever. And so once I got past that and just started being what I thought was almost aggressive and standing in a really strong power in the power center, bringing in Archangel Michael energy and all kinds of stuff, like it really helped me to propel, the power of the healing I did. And all in my case, it helped there too, and then also in gaining clients too, and having better results every time I fire up that power center. I see greater manifestation results in all kinds of different ways. So yeah, how do you do it? I kind of talked about that a little bit today, but just trusting your power, just again, trusting the inherent power you have. And that's a repeated theme, again, throughout the chakra system. Trust is a big one. Trusting the power you are, trust that it's wanting to work for the good. And if you have that intention that you're trusting your power to work for the good, and you're going to go full in with your being empowered and doing the things you feel you're meant to be here to do and to be, then you'll see great results. You'll see great results with that intention will help a lot. Just in the intentional field, flowing that through your power center in this case, it can make a huge difference. All right. Well, I'm going to need to wrap it up right there for today. I'm so grateful you've tuned in again. Go to the Energy Scan Secrets call if you want to get some energy scanning potentially from me, if you want to learn more about energy scanning and perhaps learning how to do energy scanning and integrating that into your healing practice to elevate your healing, to elevate your sales. Check out the Energy Scan Secrets call. If you want to go directly to check out the training itself, we'll put in a link for the Energy Scan training below. All right. So as always, I appreciate you listening in. And like I always say, keep on tuning in and we'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till next time.
For listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.